Israeli head of the state Benjamin Netanyahu has advised the country's military to battle with full power against the furnished gathering Hezbollah, in spite of calls from the US and different partners for a truce. Lebanon's well-being service said something like 92 individuals were killed in Israeli airstrikes on Thursday, with hundreds more killed since the strikes raised on Monday. Hezbollah has affirmed that an airstrike on a high-rise in the south of Beirut killed the top of its robot unit, Mohammed Surer. Fears of a full-scale battle among Israel and Hezbollah are at a high, after a sensational heightening in Israeli strikes on Lebanon since Monday. The expansion in threats provoked a 12-inch-number coalition, including the US, UK and EU, to propose a multi-week truce among Israel and Hezbollah on Wednesday. The proposition was at first met with trust after Israeli diplomat to the UN, Danny Danon, said his nation was available to thoughts. However, by Thursday it had been completely dismissed by Israeli legislators. All arriving in New York for the UN General Gathering, Mr. Netanyahu said Israel would not stop in Lebanon until it arrived at its objectives, boss among them the arrival of the occupants of the north safely to their homes. The White House later said the truce proposition had been composed with Israel, in spite of Mr. Netanyahu's affirmation, only hours after the fact, that his nation would battle. From the beginning Friday, Mr. Netanyahu's office made an announcement looking to explain a couple of focuses because of a ton of distorting around the U.S. drove truce drive. Recently, the U.S. imparted to Israel its goal to advance, along with other worldwide and local accomplices, a truce proposition in Lebanon, the assertion said. Israel shares the points of the U.S. drove drive of empowering individuals along our northern boundary to return securely and safely to their homes, it said, adding it appreciates the U.S. endeavors in such manner. Conversations will go on in the near future, the explanation wrapped up. Talking in New York, UK State Head Sir Keir Starmer required an quick truce to give space to a conciliatory settlement to determine the contention in Lebanon. He said the contention could gush out over into a conflict nobody have some control over. Around 70,000 Israelis have been uprooted from the north of the country since threats among Israel and Hezbollah, ignited by the conflict in Gaza, started almost a year prior. In Lebanon, around 90,000 individuals have been uprooted since Monday, adding to the 110,000 who had escaped their homes as of now, as per the UN. Through Thursday, the Israeli military said it struck Hezbollah focuses in Lebanon's south and in the Bekaa Valley in the nation's east. It additionally struck framework on the Lebanese-Syrian line, which it expressed was to slice weapons supplies to the gathering. In the meantime, Hezbollah said it had terminated 50 rockets towards the city of Kiryat Atta and 80 rockets towards the city of Safed, both in northern Israel. The Israeli armed force said it caught a rocket that was terminated from Yemen after alarms and blasts were heard. Israel's tactical boss Lieutenant Gen Herzi Halevi said on Wednesday Israeli airstrikes on Lebanon could prepare for the IDF to enter hostile area. Israeli Flying Corps (IAF) leader Maj-Gen Tomer Bar told troops on Thursday they ought to be ready to help a ground move into Lebanon. In the meantime, Qatar joined requires a de-heightening with government representative Majid al-Ansari saying the nation had gotten terrible reports from Lebanon about focusing on entire families, in a way that is like the outrages in Gaza. In the wake of meeting with English and Australian partners in London, U.S. Safeguard Secretary Lloyd Austin said that Israel and Hezbollah face the gamble of a full-scale war, yet that a political arrangement is as yet reasonable. Israel has expressed that it will probably return its residents to their home in the north. I accept the fastest method for doing that is through tact, Austin said. On Thursday night, Israel's Protection Service, IMOD, said it had gotten a $8.7 billion, £6.5 billion, U.S. help bundle to help its ongoing military missions. In an explanation, IMOD said the bundle incorporates $3.5 billion for fundamental wartime obtainment, which has previously been moved, and $5.2 billion for air safeguard frameworks like the Iron Vault, David Sling, and a high-level laser framework.